Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Career Force's virtual career fair. We will begin in 2 minutes. But in the meantime, I've put the attendance, a link to an attendance form in the Q&A area. So would you please go in there, click on the form and enter your first and last name and your zip code and let us know you're here. We will use this to record attendance on Minnesota Works. So go ahead and do that and we'll begin in just a moment. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, July 27th. Welcome to Career Force's virtual career fair. Housekeeping items before we get started. You can type in questions in the Q&A box. The Q&A box, I believe, is the little box that has the question mark in it. You can turn on subtitles in English, Arabic, Hmong, Spanish, Swahili, Thai. Open up the little CC button on the bottom of your screen, and then I believe there's a gear wheel where you can choose your language. And also, if you haven't done it already, please sign in on the attendance form in the Q&A area. If the form doesn't work for you for some reason, you are certainly welcome to put your first and last name and your zip code in the Q&A area, and I'll get it from there. I'm so happy today to welcome and have on assistance with me Jessica Borden from Career Force Roseau. She'll be watching the Q&A and asking the questions along with the flow of the conversation. So welcome, Jessica. Today we've got kind of a call center sort of customer service focused morning. I'm pleased to welcome the following companies: Shop HQ, LTCG, Ramsey County Shelter, United Health Group, and Tailwind Voice and Data. So we're going to start off the morning with the team from Shop HQ, which is a subsidiary of iMedia Brands. Welcome to Esther and to Mi Ling. Oops. I think they're on mute, so we're going to give them a moment to find the unmute button.
All right. Hello. Good morning. Thank you for having us, and welcome to iMedia Brands and Shop HQ. We're very pleased to be joined with a lot of the other employers here today, and so we'll just get started. Can you get to the next slide? A little bit about who we are. You may have seen us on television, but we're a global interactive media company. We actually televise on TV, cable and satellite, and we televise as Shop HQ for those of you here locally, but also in over 84 million homes across the country. In addition to television and satellite cable TV, we're online, live streaming 24/7, as well as on our app. So you can watch our entertainment from anywhere from Paula Deen in the morning to Dazzy Osborne, who's been with us as well, and many of the likes. For many of you who have watched us more recently, LeBron James and Shaq are also guests and partners of our programming. We have roughly 1 million active customers, shoppers with us, and as I had mentioned, how everyone shops online, on the phone, or via TV. And then what we offer, everything that you can imagine in a typical offering, from jewelry to watches, electronics, apparel, and health. In fact, we had our NFL kickoff over the weekend and have some really cool collector items that we've are for sale for watches this weekend for those of you who are NFL fans. Next slide. I want to introduce Esther, my counterpart here at Shop HQ, to share with you kind of the careers that we are searching for now.
Thank you, Mei-Ling. So as you can see on the slide, we actually hire for numerous different types of positions, everything from on-air talent and guests to the studio crew, show planning, sample warehouse, a huge variety of different things. Right now, we are focusing on marketing and promotions, merchandising and buying, technology, and especially we have a huge push for sales and customer service. So if anyone is interested in a sales and customer service positions, please reach out to us. We would love to chat with you. We're actually going to do a Zoom after this for anybody interested in that. Next slide. So when you're a customer service representative at Shop HQ, we have part-time as well as full-time positions. Our part-time positions are work from home. I know a lot of people are interested in remote work at this time, so we do have that opportunity. We have two different levels of customer service. We have our sales advisors, and then we have our customer service representatives. And so depending upon your experience, we do have a couple of different levels of customer service representatives that you may qualify for. We have a number of different shifts available. The one that we are really focusing on right now is our level 2, our more advanced customer service position. You can work from 12:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. either on a Tuesday through Saturday or a Sunday through Thursday. Everybody in the call center is required to work one day on the weekend, but it is nice because you get ample time off during the week that way, which works out really, really well. When you're full-time, you also get great benefits, which is really, really nice. We have healthcare, including dental and vision, retirement, 401k, paid vacation, and much more. Full-time as well does get the shopping discount, so we like to advertise that because people love to watch the show and be able to say, "Ooh, I really want a discount on that watch or that television," and that's a very fun thing. Our location, as you can see on the slide, is in Eden Prairie, right on Shady Oak Road. And you notice on there we talk about social distancing guidelines. So if you have any interest in any of the positions here, you can talk to us directly about all of those things that we're doing to make sure all of our employees are safe during this unprecedented time. Next slide. You can see our different networks here. Shop HQ is the one that Mei-Ling mentioned at the very beginning, and we have our contact information there on the bottom. You can see my name right there is Esther Adams and my email address and my phone number. Feel free to call me directly or email me directly if you have specific questions and aren't able to make our Zoom call. Be more than happy to talk to you. Again, we have any number of positions available. You can go to our website, like it says right there, shophq.com, scroll down to the bottom and click on careers, and then you have access to all of the different opportunities that we have available right now, as well as job descriptions. So you can look and see which ones you feel like you'd be qualified for. And again, there's our contact information, and we would love to connect with you. Is that the last slide, Liz?
Okay. Oops. Yep. That's it.
Great. Thanks so much, Esther. Really appreciate that. I do have a question regarding the marketing and promotions positions. Could you elaborate a little more on that, please?
Marketing promotions positions is a wide variety. It could be working with the email that people are reaching out to us to learn more about our organization. It could be trying to reach out to candidates. It could be reaching out to like those 1 million customers that we were talking about before. As you can see, we have a website, we have the television station, we have our app, we have all different forms of communication. So depending upon the person's interest in what it is they're looking for, reading those different job descriptions will really help a lot in order to steer them in the right direction. And again, they can call with specific questions, but checking out the different job descriptions, I think would be most helpful in order for individual people to be able to figure out what they're well qualified for.
Great, thank you so much.
Anything else, Esther, that you want to tell us about Shop HQ? You know, what I was thinking too of our opportunities within the company to be promoted? You know, is it possible to start in a customer service position and then move up within the company?
Absolutely. There's a lot of growth potential. Say you started in customer service, there are a number of different levels, whether it's a lead or a supervisor, all the way up to a manager. Say you're in customer service and you decide, wow, I really enjoy training or HR, or perhaps I'd rather work in the on-air talent or in broadcast. There are numerous different opportunities here, and we do promote from within quite often, so it's a great way to start within our organization. Something else that's really
Thank you.
Nice to talk about with the customer service is it's really a fun, creative environment, and people just have a blast. So it's a lot of fun. It's a really family-oriented environment, and I think a lot of people ask about that too.
Good, good. Glad to hear it. Anything else? I've seen in the questions a couple of people are trying to log in and are seeing a black screen saying our event is not started yet, but I'm guessing at least some of you on the call, can you confirm that you can actually see the PowerPoint slides? You can just say, I can see the slides, put it in the Q&A, so I know that at least for some people it's working, and I'll try to figure that out. One other question, Esther, before we move on. It says, what do you expect to look for when it comes to viewing someone's portfolio in regards to a motion graphics position?
Actually, I am not recruiting for that particular position, and I wouldn't want to mislead anyone. If they want to look at my phone number on the screen right there and to give me a call later on today, I'll try to get a better answer for them.
Right, good, thank you. Mm-hmm. And which product area is showing the largest growth for your company?
At this time, I don't know. I know that we have a lot of advertising right now going on with watches, which are always a big seller. Technology is a big seller. And right now we have a lot going on with safety, health and beauty, a lot of masks, thermometers, things like that. Those have been really good as well. So good. Health and beauty are really one of the really fastest growing segments that we have right now.
Good. That sounds great. Well, thank you very much for Shop HQ to be here today. Everyone can, we'll post the Zoom link, and at 11:30, please jump on and talk more with Esther and Caitlin about the positions that they're hiring for. So we'll go ahead and put that in the Q&A. And also, I had included that in the email that I sent out to everyone who pre-registered. It says, continue the conversation at 11:30, and it's in red in your email. So you'll have the link already in that email. So thank you. Let's move on now to LTCG. And we have Todd Shank joining us this morning.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And Liz, I wanted to hear your voice back to make sure I was being heard.
Yep.
So wonderful. My name is Todd Shank, as she had said, and I work on the HR team here in talent acquisition. So just wanted to share a little bit about opportunities that we're hiring for currently. When Liz had reached out, this is actually perfect timing with a focus on customer service, just simply as we have a very large class that we're targeting for here at the end of August. Subsequent classes coming in September here as well. And when I say a class, I mean a training class starting, which is the first 3 weeks before people really get involved in the job. But if we can move to the second slide, just on a little bit about our organization. So LTCG, first of all, that stands for Long-Term Care Group, and we're what's considered a third-party administrator in that insurance space. So we're working with several different insurance carriers. So these are companies that sell lots of different insurance products. They're typically known for life insurance, maybe disability, annuities, those types of insurance products, different than major medical. But when they have or do sell long-term care, they often look to outsource that work for a few different reasons. A, it's complicated. B, it's actually a smaller segment of their overall business, or in some cases, they actually don't sell the product anymore. And for them to outsource that can make a tremendous amount of sense. So we service the top 10 insurance companies that sell long-term care in the U.S. I'm guessing many of you could guess some of those names out there, but that's everything from working on that policy that they would need to do after they sell it, which we'll get into here a little bit more. Here's a quick slide just on our mission, vision, values on the next slide, slide 3. What I love about these, and you can read through them, you can visit our website, it's there as well if you want to take a deeper look into these if you're going to consider us for a career. But these were all driven out of our employee base. Coming up on about 8 years ago, we went through an exercise and had a number of targeted teams with our employees. And all of this was, again, driven out of what people who are doing this type of work at our company across all different segments said who we are, what we do, how we work with each other, those types of things as well. So just to highlight a few of the services that we provide back to these carriers that I said I would touch on. First one there, as you can see on the next slide, is the customer service professionals. And that's a call center, contact center type of position. I'm hoping we've got a few questions on that, which I can answer here later, but in a lot of ways, a very traditional inbound call center, contact center type of role. But we're talking to either agents calling in from these companies that have questions, or a lot of times policyholders. And our policyholders, would typically be elderly when they're calling in. So we do service, the geriatric market, or that market of, say, 75 to maybe 95-year-olds that are calling in with questions, just to give you a little understanding of the clientele that we talk to. A couple of other opportunities focused out of our Woodbury location would be what we call policy owner services. And essentially, they're dealing with the billing as people are paying their premiums towards these insurance plans. And so that's a really good growth opportunity to come out of a customer service role into a little more technical role in that way. They still do some phone work in that, but a little different than what the call center rigor is. And then for people that have interest getting specifically into claims, there's a whole variety of positions in what we call claims and care management. Essentially, they're making benefit eligibility decisions. So they're going through what somebody's needs are clinically, evaluating everything from medical records to somebody's plan of care to assessments that were done on these individuals, and then comparing that against what's a complicated or an individually written policy to make those determinations as well. The next slide, just a little graphic on where we operate. So Minnesota is where our headquarters are in Eden Prairie. I guess like Shop HQ, we're really close to the Eden Prairie Center, Eden Prairie Mall. Actually, our largest facility, though, and where a lot of the opportunities we're hiring for right now are in Woodbury. And so you can see that along with the additional locations we have in the U.S. And then we do have some offshore efforts, both in the Philippines and then in India as well. So positions that we're, I guess, kind of frequently hiring for, again, focusing in today on the customer care positions. Like I mentioned, claims support or claims intake in that claims and care management area. The policy owner services role, which typically, again, is a great career track out of the call center. Or maybe if somebody has some accounting type of background or interest in that space. And then, again, the care coordinators or care managers, which are, again, part of that claims and care management area. So that's what we typically hire in Woodbury. In Eden Prairie, it's our corporate office. So most of what is there is going to be IT-related types of roles. So most of that's focused into application development and project management, as you see the first two. We also do have a small part of our operation that office is out of Eden Prairie called, again, the care coordinators and care managers. So those can be hired in either location. Right now, we are all on a work from home, obviously situation due to COVID. With that, though, we have had some people back in the office that have frankly volunteered to come back in. Actually, we made them apply to come back in. We're really slow rolling any efforts to bring people back into the office just simply because it's been tremendously successful to have everyone be working at home. On the next slide, I just wanted to have a quick graphic of our call center, and then a few statements here about what our employees and what our leaders have come up with, saying are reasons why people might consider working at LTCG. So although we work with very large organizations, we are a medium-sized company ourselves. We're about 1,450 employees now. So in that, it's a little bit of a family-friendly type of feel. Hopefully you get a little of that from this picture. This picture is post-COVID, where everyone's working from home, so not a lot of energy from a people standpoint. However, you can get a sense of what that looks like. But what people are saying is people value each other at LTCG. People help each other, or people are helping people in need at LTCG. We're an innovative and growing company. You can learn and grow your career at LTCG. And we're big enough to be a market leader, but small enough to care. And then last slide here, just is our contact information. So of course, our website and our career site to learn a little bit more on. We also just did kind of a refresh on our LinkedIn and on our Indeed page for a little bit more information there as well. But then the best way to reach us is the careers@ltcg.com email box. So if you want to send a resume in, if you've got interest in positions with us, feel free and make note that you learned about us here on this call. We'll try to take special attention to that. But of course, I appreciate applications coming in on our careers page as well. Maybe leave it on this slide just so people can continue to see the contact info, but happy to field whatever questions might be there.
Great, thanks, Todd. There's a question here. Does LTCG have remote opportunities?
Yeah, and specifically out of our call center, and these are words right from our VP, is that his hope is that he brings in good quality people, trains them up on our industry and long-term care, and whether it sees them progress within the call center environment directly or to other segments of the business. That is one of his initiatives. He wants to be known for that, essentially. So, logistically, there are opportunities which we've mapped out. Again, the most consistent ones would be growth into more of a senior level role, into a quality position or a training position potentially within the call center. And then outside of the call center, what we call the contact center, would be into that policy owner services group or into the claims and care management space if we're looking at positions in Woodbury.
Okay, thank you so much.
One other question, someone asked, where do you post your job openings at LTCG? It's the ltcg.com/careers page. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. I mean, if you go to ltcg.com, there is just a careers tab that you can click into, and then that gives a slight overview just of our organization and hiring. And then there's a link to our careers page right off of there, which you can search for any active openings that we have.
Sure. And then when you're, let's see, what background are you looking for in a care coordinator?
For a care coordinator, it's typically somebody that has an insurance type of background. So we dub this position as what we call a decision maker. And they need to be able to weigh through what really ends up being a lot of gray information. So somebody that has insurance terminology, policy language understanding, that really allows them to learn that position that much more quickly. And if they've done any sort of work in the space with medical combined to that, just to be able to understand medical terminology, different medications that people might take, that would be the type of background we look at externally hiring into that type of role. Again, internal growth, people a lot of times, again, if they're starting in the call center, would move into a claims support type of position. So they're getting the industry knowledge, then they're getting the claims knowledge, and then they might be ready to step into that role if they, came to us with little or no long-term care type of insurance knowledge.
Good, thank you. Well, we've got to move on, but I encourage everyone who has specific questions for Todd to email them at careers@ltcg.com. I know every single one of you have something different and a specific question, so go ahead and email them, LTCG at that email, and they'll get back to you. Thank you so much, Todd, for joining us today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Great, thank you. We're going to move on. We're going to stay in the careers customer service area with just a little bit different focus. So I welcome the team from Ramsey County today, Ali Muhammad and her colleagues. Go ahead, welcome.
Thank you, Liz. Hello, everybody. I'm Alitha Muhammad. I go by Ali for short. OLLIE. If you're looking for me at Ramsey County, I'm the only one that spells her name that way. So you can find me pretty easily. I'm here today to talk about some hiring that Ramsey County is doing. We currently do have many positions open in the county, and you can find that information right on our website. You can see that down below, as well as we'll show that slide again a little bit later. But we're really highlighting some of the things that are happening in our housing operations unit, some really critical positions that we're here to fill. You can go to the next slide, please. Just a little bit of information about the county. We're about 170 plus years old, plus or minus a couple of years or two, but we're a very vibrant community. One of our main goals as an organization is about strengthening well-being, cultivating economic prosperity, especially in our communities, enhancing access to opportunities for all of our residents, and being very fiscally responsible for the things we do in our community as an organization. Ramsey County has about 4,000 employees. We have a 7-member board, and we have our first African-American female chairperson as well on our board. So very proud of our progress that we're making as an organization. Next slide, please. One of our key goals in our organization is residents first, and that's what we're here to highlight today. 2 of our very critical shelter positions that we have in the organization. We are working with homeless individuals, providing what we call wraparound services. So not only giving them a place to be that is safe, away from COVID if we can, or at least providing them a location where they can recover from COVID symptoms if they do have them. But also we need staff who are willing to support those individuals within our shelter operations. Our shelter wellness assistants do work directly with clients. We do have social distancing in place. People have their residents, have their own sort of locations where they are isolated in different rooms. So it's not a community thing that people think they are isolated in their own locations. Our shelter assistants really help out with custodial duties, assisting with cleaning, laundry facilities, as well as delivering food to our residents. They also help out with being supportive of our residents and providing them with any services or activities that will just, help them overall in their well-being. We're also hiring shelter lead workers. Those lead workers are responsible for the daily activities on their shift that they're working with, including supporting those assistants. They're also responsible for assisting with any scheduling and resolving any issues that come into the locations, as well as thinking about ways to sort of engage our residents while they are staying with us. We currently have 64 openings, 4 locations throughout the Twin Cities. And you have the option of working either a 4, 3, 2, or 1-day shift. Depending on your shift, it will determine if you are eligible for benefits or not. We have a strong desire to have individuals who can work the 2nd and 3rd shifts. Those are our critical positions. So if you're a night owl or a semi-night owl and you like the 2nd or 3rd shift, we would love to have you on board. We do have some first shift positions available as well if you're interested in that, but we are looking right now for second and third shift positions. Next slide, please. As I said before, you are eligible for benefits with these positions. If you work a shift on Saturday, Sunday, or if you work in the evening, you are eligible for those night differentials or Saturday, Sunday differentials. You are eligible for holiday pay based on your schedule, and you are eligible for medical, dental, and disability insurance also based on your schedule. Also, based on your work schedule, you'll be eligible for sick, floating holiday, and vacation accruals. If you're interested in learning more about our benefits packages, that information is on slide here about our employee benefits overall. Next slide. To apply for our positions, go right to our Ramsey County website, www.ramseycounty.us/jobs. Our positions are open continuously. And as you can see from the slide, you'll see the full name that you have there. You can apply for one position and then indicate which position you're interested in. So it is a nice one application that you have to do. You don't have to do two. Answer the supplemental questions. That's very important, as well as indicate if you have a preference for the lead worker position as well. We are scheduling interviews weekly. So once you get your application through, we will then send you a link to schedule an interview. And that is all I have to offer today. There's information on the last page about our website and how you can contact us if you have any questions.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Ollie. Just have a question about some of the, can you talk a little bit more about the daily activities that lead workers with Ramsey County would be doing?
Some of the activities that they are doing, one's definitely checking in staff and making sure that they're acclimated to their rooms, as well as any rules and regulations that happen, assigning them keys, making sure they are aware of the food schedule and how they can get their food or what their preference may be, talking with residents about certain things that they need and referring them to different resources as well. So it doesn't sound like, you know, very daunting, but it is very much about having the person be in a safe space during COVID, as well as providing them with food and shelter during the time that they are with us. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, great, thank you.
Well, and also, you know, what are some of the protections that you are giving your employees with COVID, and how are you handling the social distancing, physical distancing, and PPE?
We provide all that for our staff. So there are coverings for the body, there are masks, there are face shields, as well as gloves. We have a routine cleaning schedule as well. We're very responsible for that. We also give masks to our residents as well while they are there. Social distancing is always in place, making sure we're 6 feet away. If we're doing any type of activity, we are doing a lot of social distancing, and masks are required.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And the locations, where are the locations? You said there's 4. They're primarily downtown St. Paul, or are there some in the suburbs as well?
We have a few different locations. We have our Mary Hall location, which is downtown Minneapolis. We have our women's shelter and couples shelter, which is actually out in Como Park, Bandana Square area. We have another location that is young men, is in say Best Western, Capitol Ridge. And then we have our boys Totem Town, which is usually families and women in that location at Boys Totem Town, which is out in Battle Creek. So as you can see, we're spread out nicely.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for Ramsey County team being here. These are critical positions that we really need to fill. So I hope everyone will consider it and apply and pass it on to other people who you know who may be looking for a position like this. So thank you very much for being here. We're going to move on. I'd like to welcome Erica Ricos from United Health Group.
Hello, can you hear me, Liz?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Great. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. My name is Erica. I am a recruiter for United Health Group. Some of you might know us as United Healthcare. And I'm just going to go over some positions that we have open, so you can go ahead and start with the slide. But first, I'm going to just kind of go over our organization and some benefits to working with us. So a lot of you may know we are a healthcare company. Our biggest mission and a lot of our culture is around helping people live healthier lives and really helping to improve our health system and make it work for everyone. You can go to the next slide. And just a little bit about our business units and how they're split up. We have two different lines of business under United Health Group. So we have United Healthcare, which you guys would know would be the health benefits. That would be the employer plan benefits or the benefits that you might have as an individual. And then we have Optum Health Services, which is also our pharmacy and our data information IT sector. So both of those are under our United Health Group umbrella. And as everybody kind of did, we listed our culture as well and sort of what we look for when we're looking for employees to come in and join our organization. And the biggest one that I like to point out, which is something that every single team that we have is really around, is the innovation portion of it. Healthcare is changing, so we are looking for employees that really drive that innovative piece to help our members. You could go to the next slide, Liz. And then the next one. So a lot of this next stuff is going to be just numbers, but just to show you some fast facts about our company, that was our 2018 revenue, and we were ranked in 2019 #1 in insurance and managed care. And we've been ranked #1 for 9 consecutive years. So we are a large organization, and our main locations are in Minnesota and Duluth, but we are all over the United States. Some more fast facts: we do serve 141 million individuals worldwide, so a lot of plans out there, and we are supported by a staff of over 300,000 people. And then another one, which I thought would be really great to point out, because we do invest a lot in innovation and technology with our company. So wanted to throw that number out there as well. Again, just a little bit about our business units that we have in the United Health Group umbrella. We have customer service positions available in both. So if you're looking to get more into the pharmacy part, we do have the Optum business. And then our United Healthcare business, which supports our healthcare coverage for not just individual plan benefits, but we also have sales positions for Medicare and retirement that are open in customer service. And we do have some global business that we do as well. And just some more numbers to throw out here. This is just how many individuals we serve in each of our lines of business. So employer and individual plans, and how many Medicare people that are on Medicare and retirement that we serve, which is very interesting. Now we do a lot of business in both of those units. And then really what we do as far as supporting our value-based care system. So we do a lot of collaboration with care providers. A lot of our customer service teams work with both the members and the provider side, which is really great. Our members are rewarded for choosing high-performing physicians, and we help our consumers find the right kind of care that they need and to save money, which is kind of the whole point. So our customer service reps do a lot of different things. And then within Optum, we do have the Optum Health and the Optum Insight, which are sort of more of our health management and IT sector, and then as Optum RX, which does our pharmacy care services. And then this is just some numbers on Optum. We have, I think that the coolest thing that we do is that we're in our managed care plans are in 4 out of 5 U.S. hospitals, and we service over 67,000 pharmacies. So it's a very big, large line of business. And this is something I like to throw in for our employees. We do a lot with social responsibility, and this is just some 2018 numbers. Our employees in 2018, they volunteered 2.5 million hours. So we're really big on social responsibility. Even our customer service representatives are encouraged to do some volunteer work throughout the year, and we have a lot of programs to support that. So what are we opening for right now? How do you find us? I did put our careers website up there. It is careers.unitedhealthgroup. Don't put in care, unitedhealthgroup.com. And as you can see, we do have some information on our homepage too that talks about what we're doing for our customer service rep currently. And due to the COVID response, so there's some information out on the website. But the most important thing to note here is the search bar. So when you go onto the careers site, there is a search bar there that you can actually put your position numbers into. And then if you go to the next slide, there'll be the 2 open positions. So definitely take note of these. The first one is our job that we have available in Minnetonka. These are entry-level positions. They do not require any level of sales experience. We do a lot of training for our representatives, and we have that open in Minnetonka. And then if you are in the Duluth area, we have a claims position that's open as well. There's some others out there as well, but if you put those search criteria in with the number or those locations, those positions will pop up for you to apply for. Again, our claims rep position does not require any sort of claims experience. We do train. We like people who like to research and help members, and our inside sales roles, for example, are for our Medicare and retirement team. So you don't have to have any sales experience, but we like people that like to talk to members and research, because you'll have Medicare eligible members calling you, asking you what plan would be right for them. So our training usually will last around 2 to 3 weeks. We do provide all of the information that you would need. Most of our positions are full-time day and they're full benefits. And we do promote from within. The inside sales representative especially is a very great opportunity, because those people go on to work in different areas of the Medicare and retirement team. We have our employee first initiative. So we basically open roles and go to our internal talent before we put them out to the external talent. So we have a really good internal promotion program. So that's pretty much my presentation. I think the next slide has my contact info. You are more than welcome to send me your resume if you can't find a position that you're looking for, and I will get you to one that is appropriate for you. And definitely want to highlight the career site again. You can go there and search. We do have some telecommute opportunities too if you speak another language. Specifically, we're looking for people who speak Chinese, Mandarin, Korean, and Vietnamese. So if you do speak one of those languages, we do have some telecommute opportunities available for the U.S. So that's pretty much it for me, Liz. I'll take any questions.
So Erica, there's a couple questions here. One is, do you have any project coordinator opportunities available?
So again, I don't recruit for those. I just recruit for the customer service space in the claims space. But you can go to that website there and put in project coordinator in the keyword search, and it should pull up everything that we have for that unit. There's also a place on the website where you can search by job family. So you can search like IT, whatever you might be looking for on the career site.
Okay, so that would also be for pharmacist positions, correct?
Correct, yep.
Okay, great, thank you so much. And also wanted to ask about sort of the room for advancement within your company.
So as I mentioned, we have what's called our employee first initiative. So when we have positions above a certain level that go on that need to be filled, we first go and look to our internal population first before we release, which I think is really cool and sort of something to highlight. Because there's certain level positions, senior customer service, senior claims positions, sales positions that come up where we really want to look to our internal talent first before we release them to the general application process. So it's definitely a place to be if you want internal promotion, because we're definitely going to that internal population first. Great question.
Great, thank you.
One other question that came up for Erica that I thought I'd actually mention is the pre-interview assessment results more important than your education and experience?
So I would say yes and no. It really depends on the role. We do have assessments that we do have for particular positions, and they do need a passing score. So I would say we are first looking to make sure that you are a fit based on your resume. So we are looking at your resume first before we do send those assessments out. I would say too, but our positions are entry level. So I would say the best bet would be to take your time on those assessments and really reach out to your recruiter if you're having issues.
Good, thank you, Erica. Yes, everyone, go ahead and ask. You can send Erica an email with the email on the screen. Erica, perhaps you could answer a couple more questions behind the scenes afterwards, if you can.
Okay.
And just reach out to the recruiting team. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to Tailwind Voice and Data. We have with us today Gina Anderson from Tailwind to tell us a lot more about what you do. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Liz, for having me today. I appreciate this opportunity. We have been around since 2002. We are across the entire U.S. and then we have opportunities in Guam, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Canada. So basically, we're telecommunications. We're a single point solution for all services inside and outside of the businesses, as we say. All the cabling, networking, infrastructure, anything with telecommunications, we are the point of contact for that. So we work with third-party contractors as far as technicians. So we do a lot of 1099s with our technicians across the system. We do a lot of special projects. We have a lot of ongoing projects with clients. We also have just hey, we need one project, it's a one and done. We have multiple departments here at Tailwind. We have our pro service side, our carrier, staging and configuring, sales, engineering, our NOC, etc. We are client focused. We rely on our team to be responsive to our clients. We hold our team accountable. We are nimble. We want to make sure that we adapt to our clients' needs. So we want to be as flexible as we possibly can. And then we're the experts. We train everybody to be that expert in the telecommunications. Next slide. So the benefits that we have to offer, we do have our basic, our health, HSA, dental, vision. We've got a 401k with a company match, company paid life insurance, as well as voluntary life, short-term disability, long-term disability. We also have the accident, hospital, special disease, LifeLock, pet insurance. You do get 2 weeks of PTO accrued your first year starting on day 1. There's also an additional 4 hours of birthday PTO hours added annually. Couple other pieces of, kind of benefits that we have an employee appreciation team. They're actually meeting today. We go over, activities, games, luncheons, community outreach programs, kind of finding that new way with COVID. How do we still continue to make everybody engaged? Get everybody excited, and kind of doing those virtual games or virtual, luncheons to make sure that we all stay connected. We have recognition awards. We just gave out 5 awards last week, each with a $300 Amazon gift card, all kind of meeting our core values that we have. We have our quarterly state of the company meetings. Our owners give an excellent overview of, hey, here's where we're at, here's where we're going, here's our goals, and here's what we've achieved. Everybody gets excited about the meetings just to see that growth that we have. We also have career and development and training reimbursement. There's a lot of growth at Tailwind. We encourage everybody to take a look at that career path, make sure that we're all in line. We want to pay for training that's in line with where your career path is at Tailwind. So we work together with the managers, the employee, and then myself to get everybody on the same page with that. And then again, we are a growing organization. All the positions that we have right now are due to growth, which is also excellent during a time of the pandemic. Next slide. So right now, currently, we're hiring a few different positions. We have one carrier quoting position available. That is an entry-level position. It basically is responsible for obtaining competitive pricing information and generating accurate proposals for the telecommunication solutions. The project coordinator, we currently have 3 positions available for that, and that is being responsible, providing a high level of client satisfaction by coordinating the appropriate resources, successfully implement client work requests, and working side by side with the project manager. It is a lot of scheduling with the technicians, doing calls, doing a 24-in-1, making sure our technicians are showing up and every aspect of the project is being met. And then we do have one project manager position available right now. And basically it's maintaining that client satisfaction, managing all of the cabling, the phone system, the data related, making sure everything is in scope, making sure that we're reaching all of the client's objectives. You can find all of our positions available updated on our website. It's a real easy apply. It's just clicking on the link, filling out a couple pieces of information, and submitting your resume, and then that comes into our HR platform of Bamboo, and then we reach out really same day, really on top of our hiring, making sure that we reach out either way so that there is that immediate communication. If you do have questions, we do have my contact information there at the bottom for any emails that you'd like to send in. We do often have a lot of questions about our COVID plan. If you want to go to the next slide, Liz. In every interview I have, it is, what are you guys doing in regards to COVID? So I just like to point out exactly what we're doing. Obviously, with the continuing change, with the pandemic, we do look at this almost daily to see what do we need to do to make our team safe and healthy. So we have alternating teams. We have what we consider a blue and a white team. Every other week it's working in the office versus working remote. We have signage everywhere, one ways. The lunchroom and the restrooms are very limited. Our restrooms is 1 person per restroom, even if it's a multi-restroom. The lunchroom is 1 person per table. There's a line that's set up behind the refrigerators and the microwaves to make sure that, everybody is just more cognizant of their space. We want to really encourage that 6 feet social distancing. Masks and gloves, we have those available. If you're in your office or at your cube, you don't necessarily have to wear your mask at your cube, but if you're out walking around, you're training with anybody, you're in contact, we do have masks that are required. A lot of our meetings are done via Microsoft Teams now. If there is a need to do a meeting in person. We have large conference rooms, and we have everything set up to make sure that there's that social distancing. We have several sanitation stations. We have extra cleaning, daily reminders. Everybody's set up that cleaning time to make sure everything is safe. And then again, just open and regular communication as things change. We stay on top of it. We have an open door policy. All employees can come ask questions, and we will make sure that everybody is safe and healthy. That is Tailwind in a nutshell. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, so Eugenia, there's a couple questions here. I have telecommunications experience. Do you deal with Tower, SBA, or Crown Castle, or do you deal with supplying fiber?
Yeah, so we do, it is really a wide variety mix of everything from the different departments. And I would be happy to kind of go more into depth on the backside if they want to send an email. That would be excellent.
Okay, and there's another question here. PMP or Scrum Master certification required for PM qualification at Tailwind?
No, there's not.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep.
Also, one last question too. Do you have entry-level IT support positions that are ever available at Tailwind?
Oh, that's a good question. We are actually in the process of building up our NOG and our staging configuration. So I would definitely, send in your information. We hold resumes. We make sure that we are constantly taking a look back at who we have in the pipeline. So there, with our growing opportunities, I can definitely see that opportunity coming up shortly.
Good. What email should they use, Gina, to contact you? How should they get a hold?
Yeah, they can use the HR at tailwindsvoiceanddata.com on slide number 3.
Okay. Right there. Okay, great. I'm going to type that into the questions and answer. And then perhaps, Gina, if you could go ahead and, answer a couple more questions that are coming through in the Q&A area, that would be fantastic. And everyone, you always can email them at hr@tailwindvoiceanddata.com. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who's been able to join us today. All of this information is fantastic, and it really is a reality that there are a lot of companies in growth patterns and hiring nowadays. So please keep on looking for those open positions. For all the job seekers, just a reminder, some of the other virtual career fairs coming up. Winona area is holding one tomorrow from 2 to 3 online. St. Cloud is holding one on Wednesday from 10 to 11. You can get that information and more information about the job clubs